Oh yeah, party people, how we doing today? Outstanding. Let's go ahead and get this thing off the screen. Let's kick off a show, shall we? Let's welcome the people on TikTok as well to this wonderful hangout of ours and pray that everybody's doing well. Shouts out to the forklift champion, my main man Dio Azuki. Dio Azuki, man. In here making it happen. The shirt you see me wearing is a collector's item, actually, because it is a shirt from my store that my store let me sell for all of 2 days before they shut it down. Uh-oh, I didn't think this was going to kick off. Oh, it's already cut off anyway, so you guys can't hear it. No worries. Actually, let's turn it off in my ear, though, because I don't want to hear it either. Jolly D's in the house. What's up, homeboy? Good to see your face. Just making my tea for the show. Nick Vestahausen, how you doing, my friend? Turbo Lynn's in the house. Turbo, I loved your idea on the for the 52 book challenge on the Discord server. I think the idea is right. I think, well, I don't want to assume your experience level with Discord. I will tell you, when I used to manage message forums back in the day for different websites and companies, back when I was building the media empire that we have, we used to run message forums. Message forums make exactly what you're talking about super easy. Discord, for whatever reason, does not, unfortunately. So, like what you suggested, if this was the old school days when we all used to be on message forums before social media, that's a 20-second fix. You know, that you wouldn't have to do more than once a week. Takes 20 seconds. Discord, I've actually tried it when we were separating the forums out, and it just, I don't know a way to do it the way that I used to be able to do it using the old PHP forums that we all used to build. So thank you for your idea. Do you think that the idea I submitted back to you will work for what you're trying to accomplish? And then let's keep talking about it so we can figure out a solution, because you're right. It's going to be challenging going forward. So noted. Noted. Jolly says notified. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Let's see who's on TikTok. We got Sabrina's in the house. Daniel's in the house. Corey says, I was so bored. Thank God you're live. Corey, the only bored people on this earth are selfish people. Why are you bored? You didn't have anything that you could have done for somebody else. And I mean that. I'm not saying that to be an asshole. I honestly think the only people on this planet who are bored are either those who lack imagination or those who are only focusing on self. If you're bored, it's because you lack imagination. And if you do, you need to be on our shows because we talk crazy stuff. Or you need to be thinking about other people, man. How can you go out and serve somebody else today? I guarantee you, you won't feel bored when you're doing that. Yeah, it's like when that's why like being on social media has been tough for me because like the social norms of people, it's like, who are all these bored people? Like, I don't know that I've ever been bored in my life. I mean, certainly maybe when I was young, waiting for my mom at the department store. I'm sure I was bored there. But like, dude, you're a grown man with nothing but opportunity in front of you. Why are you bored? You shouldn't be. You should be doing things that make your heart come alive. Turbo says, yes, I do. The people already posted need to add it. You think that, okay, so yes, you do think the solution will work, is how I'm taking that. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, we can either have them added or I can add it for them after the fact. It's not a problem. But Corey, having said all that, I'm glad you're here, brother. Welcome to the party. Let's see. G Dog, spelled incorrectly, says, bro, you are literally on URAS. I don't speak broken fucking internet English, dude. Write a sentence or don't. What are you talking about? Sorry, was that too harsh? Have I offended everybody yet? Hunter says, Professor. Oh, God. Do you have to come up with a nickname for me every show? That just makes me seem like a pompous ass, which I know I am one. But damn, you don't have to be so on the nose. Hunter says, Professor, do you have B's book list? Audible has a sale, and if they are cheaper now, I'll pick them up. Do I have B's book? What? What are you talking about, Hunter? All right, let's see. Caleb says, hello. Wolfie says, good evening, brother. Sending love from Alabama as always. Love back at you, Wolfie. Thanks for being here, my friend. Woo! We put too much MCT oil in the tea today. It has that funky flavor. All right. Let's see who else we got here. Corey's in the house. We got Vitello. I'm sorry, I missed your comment, friend. You said hello from here in Ohio. Hey, what's up, Ohio? We'll be hopefully driving through your neck of the woods in July, man, for our yearly trip to our campsite. Our family, we do a family vacation in Wisconsin every year that's been cut off the last 2 years, obviously, for obvious reasons. That this year we get to finally come back and do. So we usually stay in Ohio's our halfway point, so we usually stay there and then finish the trip the next day. So much love to Ohio. Let's see, Caleb says hi. Wow, I see they're still not giving IQ tests for letting you join social media platforms, it seems, based on some of these comments. Yeah, can we make it legal to IQ test people before we give them accounts? That would be great. Because I can't suffer fools, man. Sorry, just taking care of some administrative stuff. So, anyway, YouTube, let me not neglect you. TikTok is doing its normal thing with the silliness. So, I want to make sure I'm showing the proper respect to the people who are actually here to be a part of this. Next level says, good to see you again, sir. Good to see you too, my friend. Yeah, easy money. Too easy. Texas says your voice kind of sounds like The Rock. Yep, so I'm told. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's talk to the people on YouTube. Corey says, Shogun Bryant, please continue to be harsh. Our soft asses need that more than coddling. You're not soft, Corey. This notion that you're soft is just wrong. You're not soft. You just haven't been mentored in the way of the warrior. Doesn't mean you're soft. That's all. Like everything I just said to you was just a perspective shift, right? What you were doing wasn't like if you were deliberately doing that, knowing better, then you would be soft, right? But you just like did I not share something with you that was different, something new, a different perspective, right? So it's in this case, it's not softness, it's just ignorance in the way of the warrior, and you just had another warrior say, "Hey, yo, tighten that shit up." That's all. To me, it's not even harsh. It's love. It's like, "Hey, yo, you are better than you're performing. Let's do it." Hunter says, "B, can I have the book list so I can buy?" No, cheater. You're gonna get the. It's a challenge, bro. I'm gonna give you the book list so that you can beat everybody at the challenge? No. You get the books just like everybody else. Let's see. Hunter says, "B, you want me to switch over to TikTok and bring the?" Yeah, that actually would help, Hunter. We've got actually a lot of people here today, which means that's countdown to stupidity. So yeah, if you could come over to the TikTok side and just the minute anybody says anything that looks like their IQ is below 115, just delete it and get them out of here. No. Peace. And I'm joking, of course, for anybody that took that seriously. You're living life wrong if you think I'm being serious. Sad that I have to say that. Hunter says yes, Roger. But Hunter, I'll tell you this: if you don't want to get the prizes for the book challenge and you want me to give you the list, then I can do that. Like if you want to get the list ahead of time and cheat in your specific case, I'm willing to give you the list, but it will disqualify you from winning the prizes. Jolly says Cottonelle is a mother effer. Y'all aren't soft, man. I've met very few people that don't have at least a little gangster in them. They just have to be taught how to let it out. I did too, by the way. I was the softest person I knew. Maybe I still am. So don't be too hard on yourself. Kip says, "Hey yo, how's it going?" Oh yeah. Don't give him the list, says Kip. I'll throw rocks on you if you do. All right, since Kip said I can't give out the list, you guys heard it here first. So people are asking prizes. What prizes, Hunter, on the TikTok side of the house? So we brought everybody here today. Today is the official launch date, if you didn't know, of my 52 book challenge. So I wanted to do a video to greet all of you wonderful people and say hello, and to invite you to come do this challenge with us, because the promise to you here is to help you get healthier, wealthier, and sexier by the end of 2020. And because I've done this 1,000 times with an uncountable amount of people in my lifetime, I can pretty much say that you're going to start seeing those benefits within 60 to 90 days. It's not going to take the whole year. So what we're going to do a 52 book challenge where I recommend a new book to you every week. You have a week to get the book, and then a week to read the book, and then summarize the book on our Discord server. If you're on YouTube, links to where all of this stuff is happening are in the comment section. How to join the book list is the first thing there on YouTube. That just says text the word books to 833-576-2460. Don't try to write it down. It's in the description. Just scroll down there. You text books to that number and you're on my book list, which automatically, if you desire, enters you into my 52 book challenge. So what you're joining is just my book list. It's free, and every week we're recommending a new book that says, hey, this is a book that did fill in the blank great thing for me in my life. I hope it helps you in yours, right? So here's a book that helped me make an extra $20,000 on YouTube a couple years ago, right? Here's a book that helped me create a coaching platform that helped a guy get a $20,000 raise in his job, right? These are the books that help me do that. So every week you're going to get a book recommendation from me Saturday mornings, and then you cop the book and you read it. And then you have a week basically to read the book and summarize it. The reason why we're doing summaries is one, you coming to our Discord and talking about, and I'll tell you how the summaries work because I don't want book reports. I don't need 500 word essays. I'm not trying to eat up that much of your time. I'm certainly not reading a 500 word essay because I'm going to try to read everybody's submissions, which are going to be a lot. But all I want you to do is read the book looking for one piece of treasure, just one. Because almost 99% of the books in this challenge are nonfiction. And I'll tell you my philosophy on nonfiction books. I learned it from Seth Godin, one of the best marketing book writers ever. Because he smartly steals from all the people that already wrote the books, and he'd tell you that. But he says no nonfiction book should be longer than 3 pages. And I know because I've written nonfiction. And I made mine 75 pages specifically because I don't want to waste people's time reading 200 pages of my dumbass stories. I wanted to give you the information to get you out of there. Right, so a lot of these books only have 1 to 3 points in them. And then the rest is storytelling to help solidify the point. So read it like a treasure hunter looking for the treasure. And then when you find it, come tell us about it. Yo, I found this treasure in the book, and here is how I plan to apply it to my life today. That's all we want out of you, right? Don't need a summary. I don't need to know what events took place and what motifs we're using, all that bullshit book club shit. This is about getting wiser so that you can make better decisions, take better actions, and make your life better. Not about entertaining your bored American ass, right? I'm not, this ain't Oprah's fucking book list, and I shouldn't be shitting on Oprah. I'm sure her book list is awesome. I'm not here to fucking entertain you. Like the book, The Law of Success says. I love it. He says it in the intro to the book. Napoleon Hill, the guy that wrote y'all's favorite Think and Grow Rich, also wrote a book called The Law of Success. In it, he says, if you came to this book for entertainment, you are going to be grossly disappointed. That's not what this book is about. Go watch television. Go watch Conan O'Brien, right? This is about getting you to a place where in a year you're not still talking about the same shit that you've been talking about for 10 years. Right? Having people hold you accountable to get to where you're going. And we're using books to get the wisdom in your head, but we also expect that you're going to apply it practically so that you can do what the military does better than the entire world, which is have applied knowledge, not just book knowledge. All right? That's the goal of this book challenge. I can't wait to get in there with you guys. And if that didn't sound like a terrible sales pitch for getting people to read books, it was on purpose, because I'm not here to sell entertainment. I'm here to actually help people who want to do the work. Plain and simple. If that ain't you, kick rocks. Right? Is that fair to say? Now, we're going to have fun. Don't get me wrong. We're going to ball out. We're going to have some fun. If you guys have been on my game therapy show, you know we have fun around here. But we're going to get the work done too. Let's see what these other comments are talking about. Nick Vesterhausen says, I'm sitting here waiting out, work out, plan ideas. Now just need to execute. And also going to train in some martial arts. There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, and Kip says, by the way, library is your friend. Guys, please use your local libraries. Please. Like, especially those of you, like if anybody here is like a professional, like consultant or coach, and like you don't want to rent out office space, just go to the library. They give it to you for free, for crying out loud. Anyway, please use your local, and this is the order of priority that I tell people when it comes to purchasing the books. If you have a local retailer that you support, I do. I have I have 3 essential local bookstores that I go to with some regularity. And believe me, if there is a bookstore in your town that is still in business, let me tell you what I know about it. It is owned, operated, run, and is only open because of the person who is behind the counter who owns and operates the place that he's using to pay his rent. All right? Or he's doing it as a hobby later in life after he's already been successful. But the bookstore is not making what the strip clubs make. So support them, right? You know, I tell the story about how my local book guy, do I have it handy? I hate when I don't have my visual aids handy for when I'm trying to talk about stuff. Dag nabbit. Come on, B. Slipping today. Wait, how do I not have it handy? It was just on my desk. Ah! Because it's right in front of my face and I can't see it. So the story behind this book, which is in the 52 book challenge, I'm not going to show it to you. I went to my local retailer. A guy that I support was in his rocking chair reading books. He puts a rocking chair there for you to read. And I'm just reading through and he's like, hey, what you got there? I can't remember which book it was. I know one of the books I bought was Atlas Shrugged, so it might have been that. No. I was reading Einstein on Peace. It was some letters Einstein had written during World War I, which were, woo, if you think that guy was just a friendly teddy bear. No, I was actually really encouraged to learn that Einstein was just as angry as I am about some of the shit that's going on in today's world. Like, yes, he wasn't just nice. He hated everybody too. But so I'm telling, I'm reading the books and he and I get to talking and he's like, here, take this book, give it a read. So I open it up. I'm like, all right. I always love a good book recommendation. And so I start like 4 pages in. I'm like, I got to have this. This book just in 3 pages changed my life. Right. I got to have it. He's like, this is my copy, but I'll order you one. I said, bet. Order however many you got to order them. Order 2. I'll give one away. And I get up to check out with the probably $200 worth of books that I just collected, because I collect books is one of the things that one of my only hobbies. And he puts the book in the bag. He's like, here, take mine. Like, come on, man. Like, that's your local retailer, man. You got to give that guy some love. So the order of priority when you guys are getting the books for the challenge is support your local retailer first. All right? Do that. If you don't have one, then the next step is support us. When we send out the links in the text messaging system, those links take you to Amazon. That, if you purchase it there, it kicks part of that money back into our program, right? We get a cut of that. It's very small cut. It's pennies, but it's a cut that inevitably, if enough people do it, it would make this program completely, you purchasing the books would make the program free for everybody. Right now, it's free to you all. It's not free to me. And I'm okay with incurring that expense to help people. That's fine. That's what businesses should do in the short term until they can make profit off of adding value to people. Right? So I'm telling you, this is a way that you can add value back. But I want you to support your local community first before you support us. Always. Your tribe matters to you more than I do. Always. Okay? Check. And then third is, like Kip said, library. 100% support your local libraries, good people working there. And then fourth, I'd say, is go to YouTube. I don't care if you do audiobooks, and YouTube has a lot of books. I don't want YouTube to be your first resort, because I want you spending money to support the artists who wrote these dope ass books. All right. If you don't have that money, then okay. Like, if you're joining this program to try to get unbroke and you got to do the YouTube hustle, fine, do it. But when you have it to give, you pay that forward. All right. Cool. And like Kip said, library is your friend. Please, like, meet the people that work at your library. Go spend some time with these humans that are the greatest human beings on the planet. Them and the school teachers that raise your kids. Let's see. Hunter says, I didn't know about the prizes. So right now, the prizes we're working on, we're still trying to solidify what they're going to be. And I have a year to figure it out. So cool. One prize is guaranteed is going to be a personalized, one of the people in our challenge is a member of my team. He's an artist. He's a calligrapher. We call him Broken, or we call him Suba, which is the Japanese word for sword, right? So Broken Sword is kind of his nickname. And he's like, hey, I'll use my calligraphy skills and I'll make everybody a personalized bookmark. So if you're like me and you like physical books, he's like, I'll make a personalized bookmark that people can have using my calligraphy skills. So that's going to be one of the prizes, which I think is going to be highly collectible and a fun thing to have, because I think he's only making a couple of them, period. Just like my forklift champion shirt, these are now a collector's item. You can now not, there's only 2 people who own this shirt on the planet, and I own 2 of the 3 that are in existence, and my t-shirt shop just shut it down. So if you got a chance to buy one of these, if you were one of the 2 people, including me, that bought this shirt, you now have a collector's item. But anyway, we've got the bookmark coming. We're looking at some type of cash prize, which will probably be a gift card that, depending on who wins, instead of just giving them a generic gift card, we'll probably reach out to you and say, hey, where's your favorite place? You want it at Amazon? Do you want it at Ulta? Where do you want the gift card to go? That way it can be the most useful to you as the person. And then the last one is we're looking at either a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. What I was hoping would happen while the challenge is going on is that it usually takes 2 years, so I don't think it'll happen given the landscape of society right now. I was hoping the newer models of the Xbox and PlayStation 5 would come out and be slimmer and less ridiculous and have less problems, so we could go that route, but we'll see. I may also reach out to some of my contacts at Sony and Microsoft back when I used to make video gaming part of my business, just to see if they can sponsor us with a couple. So we'll see what happens. We'll see, because trust me, these video game companies, if they have it to give you, at least the ones that I've worked with, I always tell you guys one of my favorite teams to work with was Square Enix, because they were sweet people. They were just kind, and not only were they generous and gave me, I don't remember how many copies of the game we streamed to give away to the audience, but they were so sweet. Like, I remember they would start sending me emails because they didn't realize I wasn't on the West Coast. And they'd be like, hey, we're going to happy hour, dude, come hang with us. Like, what? Their marketing and PR team wants me to come hang? That's what's up. you know. But yeah, these companies, man, and like I tell you guys that are working to become influencers, you do not need to have 500,000 or whatever number of followers we have before brands want to start working with you. You don't. You just need to be able to explain to them how you're going to help them get to their bottom line. I've been doing that. Like I used to have it in here. I think it's in my storage unit right now, but I have a physical copy of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare from the PlayStation 4. That physical copy was mailed to me with a thank you letter signed, I think, by one of the VPs in the marketing department from Activision. When I reached out to them and said, I'd like a copy of modern of Advanced Warfare. Here's what I do. Here's my channel. Here's why I'm different than all these other YouTube gaming stuff. Like I'm a kind of a different cat in a different space. And here's how I plan to bring value in a different way. By the way I plan to bring value is I hate your games. So this one looks like it's actually fun. I don't think I said it exactly like that, but it was like, I want to try this game I think this one may be the one I actually enjoy because your games don't speak to me. And I could be the counterculture guy that's also saying, hey, and I think they bought in. It's like, yeah, fuck it. If someone that typically hates us I'm going to be honest, if it sucks, I'm going to tell people it sucks. I tell every brand deal, don't send me your shit if you need someone to lie for you, I'm not your guy. I've had video game companies send me games that weren't finished. And I'm a computer scientist too, so I have some empathy for how hard it is to make these games, guys. When you send me a game talking about I want to pay you to talk about this game on your network, and it's like, bro, your game doesn't work. And then that dude had the nerve to get mad at me. Like, oh, you're not going to talk about it because I'm not going to talk about it to do you a favor, bruh. If I talk about this game, you're going to be out of business because people are going to learn about it and be like, well, that guy sucks. Don't buy anything he ever makes because his games don't work. And he got mad at me. I was like, dude, you could be mad, but you need to be mad at how shitty this game is and use that anger to make it better. So yeah, that is the answer to the prizes question there, Hunter. Let's see. Penguin says, I'd be happy to donate Reiki healing sessions if you need. Hey, there we go. Y'all hear that? Penguin's donating Reiki. We need to get that. Hey, Penguin, do you use Discord and are you on our Discord server? That would be my question. And you don't have to be. We can totally get you plugged in another way. I don't want to add administrative logistics silliness to your life because I know you're already busy out there saving the world. And I mean that, guys. Like, the stuff she's up to is pretty dope. You should probably give her a look. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to bring everybody here together to say is the challenge has officially launched. You all are welcome to come hang with us. We'd be very glad. So let me ask this. Is everybody who's watching me right now, both on TikTok and on YouTube, are you guys already joined? Just say yes or no in the comment section. Yes, I have joined the 52 book challenge and your book list, or no, so I can get a feel for the room to figure out if I need to keep talking or if I can move on to the next thing. Because I've got some other kind of update things I want to give everybody. I actually got to do a daytime stream today. I wasn't anticipating that I was going to have time with my appointment schedule. But it turns out I had some time, so I wanted, since today is the official date launch. Oh, and by the way, if you're joining the 52 book challenge today, this is important. If you're just joining today, oh, yep, matter of fact, I'm seeing emails. People are joining. That's cool. How cool is that? If you are just joining today, you're behind. The first book review is due this coming Sunday. And the second book has already been sent out. So we're 2 books into this thing. I'll show you what the books are, or at least what one of them is. This is book 2. So this book I can show you guys. It's already been released. So you can either go to our Discord server and click the link for the Amazon thing, or you can just go pick it up. I don't mind if you don't get it from us. But manage it for the TikTok people who this app is too silly to flip the camera. That says Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. This is really, I think, the fundamentals Bible of self-management. It's a very simple book. It's not complex, but these simple fundamentals, if you review them regularly and apply them to your life, I promise you it will get better. Most people I have read this book who are already somewhat successful, but not quite like at the Shangri-La point to be like, B, that book didn't teach me nothing. That wasn't profound. No, it's not profound. There's nothing in here that is designed to be sensationalistic or Game of Thrones. It's showing you the stuff you're messing up the simple stuff you're messing up every single day and why you're not getting the results you want. It is not complex. It is not profound. It's very simple. It's just applying the principles in this book. Not always easy. So the book helps you find ways to do it that are much more easy to stick to. The first book, so that's book 2. Book 1 is not the book I'm about to show you, but it is from the author I'm about to show you. So that guy right there wrote book 1. And book 1 is a book called, in fact, I think I can show it on my Audible app. Book 1 is a book called Turning Pro by Mr. Stephen Pressfield. So if we just pull this up to the camera here, so you guys can see, I got to turn it so it doesn't glare on you. Oh, good God. These devices. Anyway, is that close enough, YouTube? This is going to be easier for TikTok. There you go. There's the angle we needed. Yeah, that camera's not cooperating. Here we go. See if TikTok TikTok makes that way easier. So Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield is the first book in the challenge, followed by Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. Now, you don't need to try to write those down. You don't need to try to hurry. I'm just showing them to you. They are already written on the Discord server. It's just if you're joining today, you're not going to get the text messages for the first 2 books. You will have missed those. So you need to come to the Discord server to see what the other 2 books are, but I just gave them to you. So one way or the other, you should be good to go. All right. Let's see. What are people talking about in the comments after I asked that question? Brandon E says yes. Zach Bundy says yes. Nick Vestahausen says yes. I have joined the book list. How do I join the challenge? Just so buy the books, read the books, review the books on the Discord server it's called the 52 book challenge on the Discord server. Jump in there. You'll see a bunch of people have already done their reviews. You can use a similar format, but the only thing I'm asking for is here is one major takeaway I took from the book. One thing, just one piece of treasure, right? And then here is how I plan to apply it to my life today. Right? And that doesn't mean it's going to be fulfilled that day, but you're going to start today applying it, right? So that we don't procrastinate and be in the same space in a year that we are today. You feel me? That's the game. But no, that's a great question, Nick. Thank you for asking that. But yeah, simply joining the book list, you're essentially in the challenge, and as long as you turn in your reviews on time every week, you have a chance to win. That's simple. Anybody else got any other questions related to that? Let's see. Hunter says yes. Joker says good afternoon, friend. Good afternoon, Joker. Let's see. Medicated Bro Gaming says no. Okay, cool. Medicated Bro Gaming, are you interested in joining or are you good? Drager says, what's up, B? What's up, Dre? Hunter says, you strike and wound me, B. Oh, damn. What did I say this time? What did I say this time, Hunter? Nick says, got it. My man. All right. Just wait. I'm waiting for the TikTok delays the comments, so I'm waiting for them to come in. And then everybody on YouTube, I think. Okay, so I think everybody that's here is good to go. We have one guy on TikTok that said no, but I don't know if he wanted to be in there or not. If he does, we'll get him in there. If not, we will leave them be, and no worries. The other thing, and this is more for TikTok because YouTube people already know this, but for the TikTok folks, quite a few people have messaged me or commented on videos or been here on the stream and said, hey, B, we've missed you. We haven't seen you, blah, blah, blah. I want to hip you to something I'm up to and have you guys come hang out with us if you have time. So every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or somewhere thereabouts, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little bit later if family priorities pull me away. Every night at 9 p.m. I've been running a late night show, a late night kind of comedic therapy show, if you will. And if you guys would like to be a part, like for folks that want to see more of what I'm up to and be a part of what I'm doing, I would encourage all of you to attend. We have a lot of fun on the streams, and it's not just me doing what I do. It's the audience also engaging with each other, engaging with me, and just being a part of a fun community. Think of our late night kind of therapy show as the if you were behind enemy lines in a war and you would come back to your base camp every night after you've been out on patrol. And you'd sit around the campfire with your friends and you'd laugh and joke with each other. You'd probably have something to eat. You'd laugh, you'd joke, but you'd also build each other up. You'd encourage each other. And that's essentially what we're doing. Is if anyone is hanging with me, it's because they have something in their life that they want and they're desperate for it. Right? And they're willing to put in the work to get to that thing that they feel the desperation for. If you're attracted to the work I've done on the internet, that's you. Period. All right. And if you're that person, life is hard for you in a way that it's not for people who don't get after their dreams, the people that just kind of give in to conforming to the system and don't buck against it until they find a way to make their own way, which is very hard. And if you're up to that, be encouraged. It's hard. It is the hardest thing you'll do in your entire lifetime. So if you're having a rough go at it, be encouraged. This show that I do is for those people, right? It's for the people who are out here busting their ass to get to where they're trying to go. But we get tired, we get nicked up, we get hurt, and we need each other to build and keep pushing through. The show is designed to do that. So if you want to come hang with us while we do that, it's a good place to be. Let's see. Stephen O says, "Sup, B? I have recovered from the Rona. So has my pops. Well, welcome back to Earth, my friend. I'm glad you're healthy again. Good to see you among the living." Corey says, "The way of the warrior has great appeal." It does. It's a scary road, but it's a lot less scary than facing yourself at 80 years old being disappointed that you didn't try any of that crazy shit you came up with. Nobody wants to be the 80-year-old talking about what they could have done. That's the people as B. How do you stay so motivated? That I look forward into the future at the 80-year-old me who's still bitching about things in the world that haven't changed. And that forces me every day to get up and keep turning this fucking camera on against my own better judgment because I'm tired of talking on the internet. But it's got to be done, you know? But that's why I'm also helping a lot of y'all raise up so that y'all can be the talkers on the internet and I can be the enabler who's helping y'all do the talking. Like I have come to the end of my wanting to keep being the face of this shit because I'm old, man. And I've been doing this a long time. I'm ready for younger people to take the face and then I can fall back to I could be the head coach and let somebody else be the damn quarterback. Let him go out there and take the hits. I'll just watch. Hey, man, good hit. Woo! Way to stick, baby. That's the role I'm moving into. Is the helping. Like, I have already done the influencer thing. It's not for me. Fame is not a world I belong in at all because I don't have the psychology for it. But a lot of you do. And there's a lot of you I could help and show you the way that I got to where I got. And I'll gladly do it. And I'll help you do it faster, easier, and with way less pain than I did it with. And then you become the mouthpiece, and then I become the enabler that's helping you kick ass and change the world. And then I don't have to be the guy that's out here yelling at everyone. Because trust me, I'm not wired to be the face of any movement. I'm good. Let some other handsome person be that shit. Ooh. He says, "I don't get prizes. NCOs don't get prizes." Oh, God, this dude's stupid, man. He's not wrong, though. That's the funniest shit I've heard all week. NCOs don't get prizes. That's awesome. That made my week, Hunter. Thank you. We're starting Monday off right. Terry says, "Fame is overrated." Yeah. No, it is. I don't understand. Like, I have had the level of fame of probably Britney Spears toilet paper. That was enough. Like, who wants to be this shit? Like, I think you have to be a person who wants tons of attention. I don't. I want the attention of people I can help do cool shit. That's all I want. Like, I think you have to be someone who craves attention of others. Like, I don't. Like, hey, man, be cool. I'm going to be over here. I just don't have that psychology, man. Because why? How else do you put yourself through the beating that is dealing with the people you have to deal with when you have that many people chiming in on your life? It's like I have people, I have acquaintances that died on YouTube for that shit. Like, fame ain't worth being in the ground, bro. No, thank you. Not worth it. I said, I learned from Dave Chappelle. I keep my Africa tickets ready. Keep them Africa tickets ready, boy. Peace. All right, so it looks like all the TikTok comments have come in. TikTok, are we good? Are you guys good? Has everybody like so? Yes or no in the comments? Has everybody who wants to join the challenge joined? Because I don't want to hold you guys here any longer than you need to be. And it looks like nobody was interested in joining us for the late show, so I don't need to go into that spiel. Um, so cool. I think we might be done with TikTok. We'll wait for TikTok to come back. Let me give my attention back to the YouTube folks and see what's shaking there. Terry says dealing with people retweeting your stuff and shitting on you. Well, that's the easy part, Terry. I'm talking about the shit that starts happening to you, like when you review a video game, but you don't do it to the liking of a crazy person, and then they think you dying, like threatening your life, threatening my life because I didn't review a video game high enough. Like that's the shit. That's just like, I mean, clearly that's a person with severe psychosis. That's not okay. They're probably not planning to kill me. They just don't know how to express their misery any better than screaming at someone else on the internet. Because, you know, unfortunately, they didn't have any warriors or leaders in their life to teach them how to get through their bullshit. So I can empathize with that, but it's just the level of silliness that you have to put up with regularly. On like, yes, people retweeting you, that's going to happen, but the, no, thank you. Fame is for somebody else. See, Stephen O says, B, honestly, I have no desire to become famous because I prefer working behind the scenes because I am antisocial, troglodyte, hermit, introvert by heart and nature. I think the word you meant is asocial, but I got you. I don't believe you're antisocial unless you're planning to be Hitler, but I get you. You could have summed all that up by just saying you hate dumb people. All those other nice words you came up, like you hate being around people who do and say dumb shit to you. That's not being an introvert. That's just not liking being around shitty people. You're fine. And I'm messing with you, man. I'm not trying to correct your statement. So this is where Terry tells me, "Hey Brian, everything you just said is wrong, and here's how to say it right." Okay, Terry, got it. Thanks. Ti says the only pro I can see to being famous is that it would have the ethos to not have to explain where you have learned the credit. Okay, that sentence is too hard for my dyslexic ass brain to read. Ti, so I'm gonna say you probably don't want to be famous. Is the summary of that? My dyslexia got. I can't read that. It's not gonna happen. Oh, Ti, don't apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. It's my brain that's screwing up. You're good. The gist I take away from that is the pro you see to being famous. I see what you're saying. Like people are automatically going to associate you being good at shit because yeah, that's totally true. Totally true. Fame will sell more of your product than actually being good at anything will. I wish that weren't true, but humans are dumb. So what are we going to do about it? We're also gods, so we're wrestling between those two realities. Yeah, yeah. No, I got you, Ti. I'm with you, brother. Yeah, but yeah, keep in mind too, though, that a lot of the people you don't need to explain it to are probably going to be the people you don't want to have to talk to, also. So that's kind of the downside of that benefit. The yin and the yang, balance and everything, right? Cool. I think we're good on TikTok. Hey, TikTok, thanks for hanging with us. God bless you. I hope everybody who wanted to get into the 52 book challenge got into it. I didn't see any comments from anybody that says, hey, we haven't joined yet. So I'm going to take it as everybody here is in the challenge, ready to compete and get their prizes, but most importantly, get healthier, wealthier, and sexier in 2022. The last thing I'll leave TikTok with is if you would like to be a part of what I'm up to on social media more regularly, please come over to my YouTube channel, and I'll tell you an easy way to get to it without having to like search and stuff, because YouTube search can be weird. But if you just go to your browser on your phone and type in live or live, and how you want to say it, live.bryantchambers.com. That'll take you directly to my YouTube channel where you can subscribe, and then you'll get the notifications every night when I go live to do the live show, the late night show. You'll get the notifications so that you can choose whether or not you want to come hang out with us. And we'd love to have you there if you feel like you are you are a leader or an aspiring leader in the world who wants to, sees the benefits in and wants to help the world live by the warrior ethos so that we can get better, then you're the right person for the show. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Hunter. Much love, dude. Thank you for doing it exactly the way you did it so that TikTok's silly ass system wouldn't kill it. Although I get why TikTok does it the way they do it. It's not silly on their end. But thank you for that. So live.bryantchambers.com. Hunter just posted the link in the comments there. Come hang out with us on YouTube. We should be there tonight. In fact, I just got a message that pretty much guarantees that we'll either be on time tonight or early. So that's good news. And tonight, let's see, tonight's Monday. So on Mondays, the game we do for game therapy. And if you're not a gamer, don't worry about it. Gaming is not a big part of the show. Gaming is literally just the backdrop of the show, so that you don't get bored during the lulls. You have something. It's basically if you were at picture the gaming part of this show as you're at a bar hanging out with your friends. I hate to use that analogy because I hate bars. But you're at a bar hanging out with your friends, and this is what's playing on the TV in the background. All right, so we're going to be getting into this story, right? This Taiwanese story, actually. It's really quite interesting. It's very absurdist, very high fantasy, but also rooted in reality in a weird way. Like, so it's not quite like Star Wars is sci-fi fantasy mix. It's not like, it's really hard to explain because so much of it is rooted in practical, regular Earth, and then there's a parrot who's also a king in another realm who talks to you. Like that's type of, it's absurd. Come hang out with us and we'll talk about it. And for the TikTok folks, if you want to come on the show too, here's what you're looking at. Wow, even though that's backwards. So cool. It looks like everybody on TikTok got the message. Great. I'm going to ball out from TikTok, gang. I love you guys much. We are stronger than I am. I'm going to hang with the YouTube folks for a little while longer. And then we'll see hopefully everybody over on YouTube later tonight. Stay strong. And see you in the 52 book challenge. It's going to be fun. All right. Now. Whew. TikTok part of the day is finished. Thank Jesus. Let's get to the... Let me send this message real quick, gang. Victoria says, yo, I still need a Discord link. Well, let's get her a Discord link, everybody. I think did the one Terry sent actually work? Let's click that. No, damn it. Discord, YouTube be tripping. Can I just message Victoria from here? Let me do that. I could just DM it to her. Nope, because that would be a useful feature, YouTube. Let me see if I can post it. Social media platforms are Satan's work. So the link Terry gave works. Let me say that properly. It's just not the link directly to it. So I'm going to try to get a link that takes us directly to us so that she doesn't have to do any searching. So let me know. Do you guys? I'm commenting right now. Do you guys see that comment, or did YouTube shank it? Let me know. And so hopefully, Victoria, that'll take you directly to Discord. But thank you for letting us know that you need it. Terry says, remember that saying, know oneself and know your enemy, and you can never lose a fight. That's why I avoid fame. Yeah. You have the self-awareness. For sure. How can they know their enemy if they don't know I exist? That's a good point. It's very Genghis Khan of you. Victoria says, it's very tough to review the book when you can't find the Discord page. I can relate. I can definitely empathize with that. Yes, ma'am. And Victoria, I also sent out the Discord link on the text messaging service. So I'm not sure when you joined the book challenge, but yesterday a text went out with all of that information. So if you joined before yesterday, check your text messages too, because I assume there's people that are joining after the fact that didn't get the initial text message with all the information in it. So I sent out a second one. I will send out probably a couple of those for the first couple of weeks of the challenge, and then eventually I'm going to stop promoting it. And then what I'll let you guys do is do word of mouth. So I highly encourage everybody who's here. I didn't really get a chance to say this on TikTok, but I don't really care. uh, I highly encourage all of you to invite friends of yours to do this with you, right? Because that's going to, first of all, it's going to make you more competitive and thus more likely to participate and stick with it. But you're also going to be benefiting people that are in your life, right? This is one of those things where you should be sharing out with other people and saying, hey, come check out this thing that we're up to. Like our late night show, you don't have to share with anybody. Let's keep that private because I want that to grow nice and slowly. We're going to get rich slow on that because what I don't want it to do is have the exponential growth that usually happens on social media when I'm there that leads to me talking to a bunch of people who I'm not talking to, which gets very exhausting for me because I don't have the energy usually to sift through the silliness to get to the ones of you who are actually about what we're talking about. So I've been growing that very deliberately slowly, and I'd like to keep it that way. But with the book challenge, go nuts. As many people as are appropriate for it, you guys can share it with them. Terry says we need to set up a bar for gamers. I just moved to the States. They have tons of them. It's called a barcade. In fact, I played at one in San Diego the last time I was there. I beat my friend at Street Fighter 2. And then he beat me at Galga. I was mad. I was like, hey, hold up. When did you? He's like, dude, this is what I was playing when I was growing up. I'm older than you. I was like, yeah, you are. But damn, he beat my ass at Galga, and then I beat him down in Street Fighter 2. Replace all the sports channels with vintage. Yeah, it's called a barcade, man. You guys in the UK are slow. Y'all need to get with it. We've had that shit for over a decade. Why are y'all slipping? Steven says they're very hard to run though, because any restaurant is hard to run. But that type of restaurant where it is specifically tailored to a very specific demographic of people, whew, good luck running that. I wouldn't want to own it. Stephen O says, B, if you get into Aliens Fire Team Elite, hit me up because I play it. I probably won't, but thank you for the offer. If I do, and so understand that the team that I play with is quite a few people, so finding slots to pepper other people in can sometimes be tough. But eventually we could find a way to do it. But I probably won't play that game, man. So hang in there. Terry says, oh wait, you'd actually watch the sports channels. I don't really like the only sport I vaguely enjoy watching. Sports I enjoy watching are football, but only in small doses. Like sitting down to watch a 2-hour football game is not something that I do unless it's the playoffs and one of my teams is playing, or it's the Super Bowl. Usually on any given year, that is the only full, and I probably won't even watch the full game because I'll leave during the horrible halftime show that's only for the women watching the game. It's like they clearly had no respect for dudes are also watching this. Maybe pick an artist that both groups like, but that's fine. Um, the like there's time like there's parts of this, and then the commercials all suck now because they have to be PC and not actually funny. So it's like, all right, the parts that made the Super Bowl awesome are dead. Or the game is not dead, but it's like I don't want to be here for 2 hours watching bad commercials and a shitty halftime show with artists who I don't care if they die in a fire. Although I did hear, isn't the artist this year someone who's actually good? Isn't it like Metallica? Like, didn't they finally this year decide to pick an artist that we like? And I guess they have had Red Hot Chili Peppers, but then they tried to mix it with Bruno Mars, and then the performance wasn't up to what I know both of those juggernauts of awesomeness can do. It's like, man, I'm out. Like, no, I don't know anybody that likes doing like arena shows. That shit sucks. I've only done one, I think, maybe two. of that caliber size. Certainly not in front of 60,000 people, but thousands. Like, give me a club with 50 people in it every time over playing in front of thousands. Just no. But anyway, the other sports I can watch are tennis. Tennis is very fun to watch because it's every volley is a drama. It's like, yes, this is awesome. And the athletes that play it are just freaking monsters. The men, the women, and the others, dude. That sport is fun to watch. And then I can listen to baseball. I don't like to watch it, but I'll listen to it on the radio. That's the extent of my sports watching. Everything else, like basketball, I'd rather. I don't know what I'd rather do, but I don't like basketball, so I don't want to watch it. Um, and then what's the other one that people watch? Basketball is a big one. Hockey is awesome if you're at the game. I don't like to watch it on TV, but hockey's awesome live. But yeah, no, I don't watch a lot of sports, man. Even when I was a kid playing sports, I hated watching. I loved playing. I've always been that way. I just don't really like watching that much. I think sports watching is for the people that didn't want to play it hardcore. Like when you want to do this professionally, I don't think. And don't get me wrong, I do like watching it, but it's got to be in small bursts. 2 hours with commercials ain't gonna happen. You didn't ask me for any of that, but your comment made me think of it. So there we are. See, Ti says I started reading Turning Pro today. I'm about 1/4 of the way through, and the book definitely surprised me. Good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Terry sees the link. Galga is a good one. I know someone who worships Galga. You might know my business partner. We might be talking about the same guy. Ti says Galga's hard. It is. That is a hard game to master, man. Like you got to come correct if you're playing Galga. Terry says women don't like watching football. Of course not. Why would they? Not stereotypically. There are women who like football, but by and large, no. Most women couldn't give a shit about football any more than dudes are sitting around watching the fucking Bachelor. We both, the male and female species like to watch the things that they have historically been good at in society. Men like watching other people hunt. Women like watching other women communicate. That's how we learn to survive. Women make complex communication systems that allow us to send information and stay alive. It's also where entrepreneurialism comes from. It's a very feminine thing, right? And then men hunt and kill and bring food home. Women also check the food to make sure it ain't going to kill anybody because that's why women are better with nuance, right? And they call it multitasking, but it's really just nuance, etc. So yeah, like we watch the shit that we've learned how to survive doing for 6 million years. It's not more complicated than that. To me, when I look at the psychology of it, it's simple. But I'm not sitting around watching The Bachelor because my survival is not going to be predicated on getting a bunch of other uppity ass women to like me and vote for me. I'm out. I could just go hunt and kill everything and then eat in a cave. I don't need these people. I'm out. Ti says I only watch golf because it's the only sport I understand. That ain't bad, man. Golf. I forgot golf. Golf can be fun to watch too. Just because it's such. It's got to be the hardest sport out of. I mean, if you consider it a sport, mechanically and technically speaking, it's got to be the hardest sport to master because you cannot rely on anything but yourself. In football, I can throw a bad pass, right? But my receiver can make up for it and make a play. Right? In golf, if I throw a bad pass, that's your ass. You in the water or you're in the hazard, man. Peace. F you, get better. There's nobody to bail you out. Oh shit. What just happened? All right, my audio cut, guys. I don't know. All right, there we are. Um, Golf can be fun to watch just because it takes so much deliberate skill to be amazing at it. So it's fun to watch people who have put in that much time getting great at something. So I'll give you golf. I wouldn't sit and watch a whole match, but if it's on at a place, I'll be like, all right, let's see what this guy's going to do. It's also fun to play when I don't have to play competitively. Like if I can just shoot and kind of work on the mechanics, it can be fun. Terry says, damn, B, you need cheese rolling in your life. That will make you give up watching other sports. I mean, I pretty much gave it up. And one cheese rolling was enough for me, man. I feel like I got a lifetime's worth of entertainment out of that. I don't think I need more. I think more might be too much of a good thing. Yeah, no stipulations, no rules. That's awesome. Like, so do you have to catch the cheese before it gets to the bottom of the hill? Because I would start calculating physics shit to win that match. So I don't have to run down a hill like an idiot and kill myself. Like, I'd just get, me and Ryan would sit down and calculate, freaking the calculus and physics of coming down the hill at a certain angle and trajectory and speed. We'd be doing ballistics calculations. I'd win every cheese rolling thing because I would statistically analyze all that shit so hard, and then I'd practice for an ungodly amount of hours. Like, just nobody would ever be able to beat me at cheese rolling because they're like, dude, how does this dude beat everybody? Because he cheese rolled 7,000 times. He did a cheese roll 10,000 times before he got to this match. You're not beating him. He's done it too many times. Like, that's how I played football. It's like I'll just do reps all day. Even like I remember I'd have sleepovers at other people's houses on the team, and I'd just be still throwing myself footballs, catch it, throw it, catch it, just repetition, repetition. I didn't have a jugs machine, so I had to throw the ball to myself. B, did you respond to my comment of aliens? I did. I sure did. You can rewind and hear all that great stuff I said about Alien Fireteam. The bottom line is I said I'm probably not getting it, so don't worry about it. And playing online with other people outside of my circle is tough because I have my kids usually that want to play online with me. So when I play, I usually don't have a slot for another person. But at some point, if I do play a game that we mutually agree is awesomeness and we have time to get you on one of the shows, we might be able to do it. But having some type of regular gaming thing where you and I are hanging out playing games is probably not going to happen, so I would not set that expectation. I'm having a hard enough time getting mapping out the time just to do the damn show for you guys. But that's essentially what I said. I probably won't play that game, but if I do, I'll let you know. Ti says sounds like I need to watch some cheese rolling. Yeah, it's on the Discord server. Terry posted it in the uh, talking shit forum. So go holler at that. Cheese rolling for everyone. I want to see B plan out his cheese rolling strategy. I tell you what, if I ever get into cheese rolling, Terry, here's a promise I'll make you. I will document the process in video so you can watch me like become the cheese rolling champion of all time. Because that's me. Like, I don't ever want to get involved in something if I can't be the gangster, the grand poobah of it. Like, I would never want to play professional football unless I was on a team that was going to win. Like, not like because you can't predict it, but I would only want to be on a team whose attitude is we will sacrifice everything up to our lives and resurrecting and coming back from the dead to get this fucking win. Like, that's who I want to play with on a football team. Is just people that are deathly. Obviously, I don't want anybody to die for a damn trophy. That's silly, but like I want to play for the team that wants to murder everybody and is willing to come in and do the work in the weight room and the two-a-days. And we would hate it. I'm not that kind of guy where I love these workouts. They're the worst. But you go through it because you want that win. It's like crack. I've had an undefeated season before. There is nothing like being undefeated at football. Nothing. Nothing like owning your whole everything and just undefeated all the way home. Still got the plaque somewhere that shows it. Um, that's you live for that. It's like every year you just want to get the wins. You just want to win, and it's like, yo, that's what you'll get out of me with cheese rolling. I will document the process, putting in the reps. Ti says, "What date is the podcast starting?" It was supposed to be today, but we've had some other life events get in the way. So, sometime between now and next Monday, most likely, when I actually carve out some time to sit down, and I'm not out house hunting or doing real estate stuff or mentoring children or whatever it is I do in this crazy life of mine. I've been pushing it back because I don't know how to exactly say some of the things I want to say. So I am still chewing on how I want to approach the comeback. So part of the holdup is just me knowing what I want to say and choosing, okay, we're going to go this route. So some of it is just waiting on me to decide some things. Terry says, I hope you're not lactose intolerant, then B. The reward for cheese rolling is, you guessed it, cheese. No, I'm not lactose intolerant. And unless I misunderstood my education on Good Eats, a lot of cheeses don't cause lactose problems because the lactose that you're intolerant to, I believe, chemically, when cheese is formed, isn't the bacteria eating the damn thing that you're allergic to create the cheese? So the thing that would be present in milk theoretically wouldn't be present in the cheese, which is why I've always found it weird that people tell me they're lactose intolerant and don't eat cheese. I don't think it affects it the same way, but I could have misunderstood that episode, and I could be wrong because I am not a food scientist or an expert in lactoseology. Anyway, I was pretty sure that a lot of cheeses don't cause the lactose problem, but I might be wrong. You're going to have mountains of cheese in the kitchen fridge. I love cheese. Like when we go to Wisconsin, we come back with cheese that usually lasts 6 months. 6 months is probably extreme because 3 months of cheese comes into the house and we destroy it. I love cheese, bro. Cheese is probably the only other thing besides cashew butter on this planet that's just the nectar of the gods. See, Ti says, I know yogurt does that, but I don't know about cheese. Yeah, somebody look into that. I thought I heard correctly that a lot of different types of cheeses don't actually affect people with lactose intolerances, but I've been wrong before. This would not be the ninth time. Oh, Terry just reposted the cheese rolling compilation, guys, in the Discord, so have at it. Terry says, well, I'm opposite of you then, B. I despise cheese. Yeah, a couple of my kids do too, so I can relate to people who don't like the substance. It's weird. I love cheese, but I also don't go out of my way to eat it just because it does cause, like, it can cause respiratory issues and stuff like that with issues I've had in the past. So I do minimize how much I eat it because it will cause me to have more phlegm in my system and shit like that when I eat dairy. So I don't eat a ton of dairy, but when I eat cheese, I go in. iFlame says, what up, guys? What up, Flames? Which is why I don't compete in cheese rolling. Well, that would make a lot of sense. If I got to eat the ball after I play the game, I'm probably going to stick to a game where I like the flavor of the ball. Well said, Terry. Dude, Terry, that I meant to tell you guys, that damn Captain Picard box that you posted with Stargate Battlestar Galactica with Spider-Man in that box doing everything wrong made my whole day when I read that. I'm looking at it now on the Discord server. The fucking, it's got Spider-Man, Captain Picard, Gandalf, DC Comics. It's so wrong in every way. It's wrong. Like, you couldn't have made this wronger, and they did it. It's like, is that a real thing? Please, Jesus, let it be something that you can buy in China, and I need to buy all of them immediately. And then I'm going to own the market and then slowly sell them for profit. I need, Terry, I need that in my life. Please link me to where I can buy that immediately if that's not a Photoshop, which I think it very much is. But that thing was glorious, bro. I meant to give you compliments on that. And it shows that you know me. It's scary how well you know me sometimes, Terry, because you get me wrong a lot, but you also get me right. And that, you got me right. Right on the money. Oh, if it's a real thing. Oh, dude, please, like, make them. How do we make that? All the copyright owners would be like, we don't even know how to sue this guy. Fuck him. Just let him sell them. We can't sue that. It's too much. Oh God, I love it. B, ever since I outgrew my death from dairy allergy, I love cheese. Hey, that's what's up, man. You ate enough you went to the other side of the allergy. There you go. Jolly says, some cheeses like goat and sheep has less lactic proteins, so it doesn't affect many who have lactose intolerance. Thank you, Jolly. My fact checker. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jolly. I knew there was something in there. I could have sworn there's some cheeses though that the way the bacteria eats all the shit to make the cheese, it takes the lactase out of it, which is what the lactose and that's the protein or the sugar that the whatever. I don't know how it works. I'm an ignorant asshole and need to stop talking. Lisa says walks in munching a cheese and cracker. Sup y'all? Sup y'all? Oh, you'd have a guaranteed customer for the rest of your life, bro. My whole shelf would just be that. There wouldn't be any more books. I would dedicate my life to owning every one of those in existence. I'd pay millions because that, I think what you just posted is the meaning of life. I'm pretty sure that exact picture, that is the meaning of life. And you just shared it with everybody and we're now all better for it. That picture is the meaning of life. It has to be the meaning of life. What else is there? Yeah, the sugar. That's what I said. I said sugar. What did I say? Protein? Sugar. Well, same thing. Sugar, protein. Get them in there. I totally forgot that Terry posted that. That made my whole week. The bacteria and fungus eats those proteins. Feta blue cheese. There we go. I knew there was some cheeses out there, damn it. I knew it. I knew there was a cheese out there that didn't kill people. Maybe it's feta cheese that I'm thinking of because he did do a show on feta cheese. And he showed that you can cook with feta cheese because it doesn't melt. And you can apply it to hot food. I do this all the time. Like feta cheese on your spaghetti, outstanding because your spaghetti's hot and and liquidy, and then the feta cheese adds a solid and it's cold and it gives you this great contrast. It's delicious. Cool. All right. Terry says you must be a cheese connoisseur to Mr. Jolly. He might be. I don't know. Wait, why is this here? Let's see. Stephen O says B. Oh, that's what's up, Jolly. Good shit. So you had a problem and then it made you into a researcher to solve the problem. It's gangster shit, man. Cool. Ti says my brother and I are going to start making honey whiskey soon. Oh, sweet. I don't know how that. I don't know how to make alcohol, so I assume by honey whiskey you're making alcohol and hopefully doing it legally. Godspeed is all I can say. I don't know anything about the alcohol making process other than yeast eats shit and then it becomes something else, which is the same way that pickles are made and bread. So I'm probably off somewhere. But yeah, Stephen O, I'm glad you found us too, man. That's honor. You said, B, I'm glad I found you 2 years ago. Now, me too, man. I'm honored to have you here, my brother. Thanks for being here. If it goes, my brother wants to make a business out of it, and someone has to keep him from fucking everything up. Okay, fair enough. I'm imagining that's you that's going to step in and keep him from tearing the place down, which is good. It's good to have a partner, man. Hunter says, "Is there a dentist in the network? Wife is supposed to pay 5K to do a root canal and cap. Is that correct?" That is a great question. Any dentists here? If it goes well, gotcha. Yeah, any dentists here? I'm ignorant on that, Hunter, so I'm gonna do my uh, STFU move because I wouldn't know what I was talking about even if I tried to give you an answer. So I am gonna shut the f up and let smarter people answer that one. Try that. I have a dentist in my network though. Oh fuck. I wonder what. Do I have his number? Shit. Text him right now. I have a millionaire dentist in my network. He would know. He's made a lot of money doing dentistry. Let me see if he's in my phone still. I'll just ask him. All right. Not in that phone. Let's try the other one. Yeah, I was racking my brain. I'm like, I know somebody I can reach out to, and then it just hit me. Yes, you do. Where are my contacts at? Here we go. Let's give this a shot. Damn it, come on. No, that's the other guy. Damn, dude. How do I not have his number? Like he and I were in contact somewhat regularly a year ago. No, Ho. This is not what we're looking for. Where are my contacts? Yeah, here we go. Let's see. What was the last message I sent this guy? Oh, nothing from this phone. Damn it. Oh, that's probably not still his number. Shiza. Yep. Damn it, Hunter. I don't think I can reach out to this number. I'm almost positive that is no longer his number, his active number. Dag nabbit. Sorry about that, bro. I thought I was gonna be able to help. He says I'd go medieval on all y'all's mouths. What? Oh god, Terry's hilarious. Because I feel like I should find my matches for negotiation. Yeah, for sure. Jolly says if I didn't look up that Tim Schmoyer video, I wouldn't have ever met B. Ah, possibly, yeah. Possibly. Well, I thank God that you did, man. I'm a better person for having known you. How about that? Oh, well said, Terry. I see you've given a lot of thought to this draconian torture you plan to do to people. Everything going okay at home, bro? Everything all right there? Let's talk about it. Hunter says it's cool. Thanks, though. Yeah, yeah. Well, if I can, I might be able to find him on Facebook and hit him up later. And if I do, I'll let you know. Let's see, Chris Fields. Holy shit, I just remembered the Chris I was talking about when I asked if you still talk to him. The answer is no, and I do. You're talking about what was the name of Chris's channel? Dagger. I do remember his name, but no, I the only people I still talk to from those days are you, Anna, Raven comes by every once in a while. Um, Trying to think who else do we still hang with. But no, I think pretty much everybody else that was a part of that community. Because you know, if you think about it, a lot of the people that we started hanging with, we were all new to each other. You know, I hadn't known a lot of those people for very long at all. So you know, the way friendships work, sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. You know, it just depends on what's going on in your life. But yeah, no, Chris Fields and I don't still talk. So it's me, you, Anna, Raven, Steven still comes around. Um, you know, a bunch of people became my Spartans that I work with. Uh, so like you may have known a guy named Jeff, not his real name, but that was his screen name. He's still around. Who else? Off the top of my head, I know I'm forgetting names, but that's for the most part the folks I still chat with. And Kaz, yeah, definitely Kaz. Well, Kaz goes without saying. Kaz, hell, Kaz and Terry have been here. Like Kaz goes back to before the YouTube days. So like I don't even include Kaz in that group because Kaz and I go back further. Like Kaz and I go back further. You guys have met another friend of mine. I'm trying to remember what is the name he uses now because it's not his real name, and I'm not trying to say his real name publicly. Um, but Rags is what we called him, you know, when we were back in the community. Like he goes way, he probably so there's a guy that's been on the show that probably goes the furthest back out of all the people here with me, and he's been around a couple of times because he goes back to when I first started my website back in 2004. Right, so I think Rags came along in either '04 or '05. Yeah, so I've known that guy for shit 16 some odd years. Uh, and then there's a couple other guys from that crew that I do still talk to. Like one of them moved to Japan, which was awesome. I got to watch him live as a guy working in Japan and figuring that world out. That was awesome. Another one grew up, and I think he got into the mental health world and was kicking ass. But yeah, man, Chris Fields and I have not spoken to Chris in quite some time, but I do hope that he's doing well. I'm glad you remembered the name. But yeah, Kaz and I go back before YouTube. Terry says, everywhere I go on YouTube, Kaz is there. Well, of course, we're all interested in similar things, man. Of course, we'd find each other. Like when I said game sack on this show, and more than one person knew what the hell I was talking about, that didn't surprise me at all. I was like, of course they know what it is. They probably watch it too if they're interested in my show. Oh God. You know, and that does say something, gang. Like if you're looking into making content and you're from my generation, remember that nostalgia for us is not the Nintendo 64 like it is for y'all. It's terrible public access television kung fu movies is what we watched because that was the channel that was on at 10 o'clock at night that was still broadcasting and could show you a thing. So like when we were kids, and even my brother who's about 10 years older than me really had this experience. I was on the tail end of it. But it's like our generation, like literally you watched whatever was on, and F you if you don't like it. There wasn't none of this, I get to choose and pick and subscribe. Like, no, bitch. And Living Color comes on 8 o'clock Sunday. Have your black ass here or don't. You know, so we grew up watching terrible shit for entertainment, but because it's all we had, we were entertained by it. So, like, when a show like GameSack comes out, a lot of people may not realize, and this is my speculation, I've never spoken to Joe, but I get the impression that his whole show is playing on nostalgia. It's I'm gonna make this show as terrible as I can make it. Now, from a production standpoint, the show is actually really good. But like he purposefully writes bad jokes. Like he does all of this like seemingly low budget shit that just for people from my generation, we love it because it reminds us of the stuff we used to have to watch when we were kids because it's all that was on. So it's very nostalgic. Whereas, the Let's Play thing blew up because the generation that made YouTube big were the younger to middle aged millennials. So, of course, they're into Pokemon and they're into Nintendo 64. Of course, gaming was going to blow up on YouTube with the millennials. It was never going to happen with, the older millennials, Zennial, Generation X people. Because we grew up with video games, but they weren't accepted when we were kids. Like, y'all are the generation where gaming was cool. So talking about your video game collection if YouTube had existed when I was a kid and I was on there talking about my video game collection, guarantee you that was countdown to me getting an ass whipping at school the next day. Because everybody I saw that video game video you did, motherfucker. I'm going to whip your black ass today. Like, no, man, I'm cool. I promise I'm cool. Don't do it. It would have been an ass whipping. Ain't nobody letting you play video games and talk about that shit at school. Get your ass out of here and go on a date. Talk about some video games. So yeah, man. So yeah, of course he'd be into it because he's into stuff that people like us would be into. Terry says GameSack is pretty big though. Not when you compare him to other shows. Like he's big for what he does. He's huge. But when you compare what he does to other shows that get ratings, it's not. It's very niche. Um, and it's niche because he's catering to that very specific audience. I like when I used to share the stuff I'd watch with younger millennials, they'd always tell me, "Oh, that's boring," and it's like, and then you guys make me watch Harry Potter, and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with your brain? How in God's name were you not bored by this fucking privileged ass white wizard shit?" And you're bored by a guy being like, I get that this isn't the most awesome thing in the world, but you're not gonna have me watch kids running around with wands and shit. Like what? You know? So it's just there's something there that's just not for I don't think the younger crowd because they wouldn't have the nostalgia. Like I'm never gonna be nostalgic for Super Smash Bros. I hope it dies in a fire and Nintendo stops making it. I don't have any nostalgia for Pokemon because I was a grown ass man when that shit started. So you know, and then you guys had the luxury of making Let's Plays and shit when there was actually an audience for it. Because trust me, we have been trying to make gaming content since the fucking 90s and nobody wanted to watch it. But now people are finally starting to want to watch it. Because gaming has finally entered into everybody's life and they now are interested in it. Woo, that was too much MCT oil. Ah, tone it down next time, B. Lisa says, found you on TikTok and followed for a year before joining the journey. Yeah, it's pretty much how it goes. Customers need 15 touches with the business before they buy. And in this case, Lisa didn't necessarily buy anything. She bought into the idea behind the movement. But people need to see you at least 15 times. It used to be twice, then it was 7, now it's 15. It'll go up to 50. And all these platforms are always going to have an inventory problem, so you're going to have to be able to cut through that with being interesting in a way that's interesting. Like I'm telling everybody, you better start figuring out this niche shit is going to matter more than it ever has. Right? I've always told people don't worry so much about niching, worry about making your niche your audience instead of making it the content you produce. Right, but more and more it's going to be important that you are creating something with a specific type of person in mind because there are too many entertainment options for people to keep up with you, Conan O'Brien, the NFL, Tom Cruise, The Rock, Kevin Hart, Britney Spears, Battlestar Galactica, Game of Thrones, and whatever other shit is going on. There is too much entertainment. So in order for you to do art and get people to pay attention, you've got to be different in a way that resonates with somebody very specifically. Being a generalist, those days are going to come to an end where you can just talk about whatever. You can talk about whatever, but it better be aimed at. That's why you guys always hear me talk about I make content for leaders or specifically warrior leaders or leaders that live by the warrior ethos. That's the only people on this planet that I'm talking to. That's it, because I know that's the only people on this planet that get what I'm saying and can use it. There are people who would fundamentally disagree with the things that I share, and that's okay because it won't work for their life, and I support that. If what I'm saying doesn't work for the way you want to live your life, don't do it. Go do your thing, right? But you guys are going to have to start thinking about what is it that I specifically bring to the table that makes people want to be around me. Because not only do you now have to make an ungodly amount of content just to get people to subscribe to you and want to be a part of what you're doing, you got to be able to keep that interest level up. If, making content as an influencer to make money is something you care about. Um, these platforms run very much like slavery, where it's you're going to come here and work for free. They're not going to pay you. I mean, they'll share some of the revenue they get, but slaves also got slave wages, right? Uh, YouTube was a slave ship. They brought everybody here to work for free to build their empire, and then once it was built, they cannibalized those people to bring in Conan O'Brien, the NFL. That was the plan. HBO, all these people, and sell their own movies that they have the licensing to and music. And they cannibalized, they've used the backs of free creators to do that, to build it. Period. That's not going to stop. And now that they have everybody's attention, it's now time for the disruption to start happening. And then the disruption will build their platforms the same way. Get free labor to come on your platform. Mark Zuckerberg don't make no content. He just makes platforms and lets y'all do it for free. And he doesn't have to pay you a dime for the shit you create. But he makes dimes on it. That's the greatest hustle of all time. Create a place where people want to hang out and then make money off their hanging out. It's pretty genius if you ask me. He might have gone to Harvard or something. But yeah, people need to see you so many. And so for those of you who are building products and shit, yeah, you better start talking about them. Otherwise, you're going to be irrelevant. Terry says their Metal Jesus video. Oh yeah, the whole they made fun of Metal Jesus, Angry Video Game Nerd, the Irate Gamer. They made fun of Classic Game Room. Which what's really funny about Joe's joke with Classic Game Room is when you listen to Mark, it actually sounds like he's saying Plastic Game Room because he says classic with that weird lisp he talks with sometimes. He doesn't have a lisp, he just does it on purpose. But the way he says it, it sounds like plastic if you listen to it wrong. And I'm like, Joe's joke is actually, I think, rooted in reality. Terry says, what about the PlayStation team, B? What about them? What's the PlayStation team? Terry says, when I was at school, I had to say PK and stuff. Well, of course you did. But you're older, right? You're not the only millennials here. The younger crowd definitely didn't have that. Like when I was teaching in schools, those kids brought their Pokemon to school. There was nobody was getting beat up, nobody was getting made fun of. Everybody played Pokemon when I was working in the school system. And those kids are now, I think, the young millennials. Because I was barely not a teenager myself when I was working there. Uh, yeah, I think they would be the younger or maybe the mid-range millennials. But you also lived in the UK. Maybe it was different for you. Like the teasing stopped kind of with my crew with video games. Now you just get weird looks. That still happens. Like with adults, like, oh, you play games? Like, why, dude? Because going to brunch with your superficial ass sounds like hell. Saving the world in Crackdown 3 sounds like a lot more fun than listening to you talk about how awesome you are at your job. That's why I play games. Because they're better than people. And then Musashi says, I think I found my problem in my community. Word. Jerry says, thing is, B, without YouTube, there's no way I'd be able to grow an audience. Oh, there is. You just wouldn't want to do it. But you're right. I say that to say you're right. YouTube does a lot of marketing work for you, I find. They can, but they're not doing the work for you. You are doing your homework and the system is working appropriately. The system's AI was programmed a long time ago. They're not doing any work for you. They just set up a system that does the work on your behalf. The opposition of the N64 team. Oh, I didn't know they had an N64 team. All right. Cool. I meant more the era, not necessarily the console. But most of you grew up during that PlayStation era when the rest of us, and I don't mean you were born then, you were probably, by the time the PlayStation came along, you were probably, I assume, somewhere around 10 years old. It's kind of the spot that I'm talking about. You had the N64 kids and the play. Yeah, of course, just like the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo kids. But I don't I definitely don't mean that. I just mean the era. But you're right. So there were console wars back in those days too. I wouldn't even Like, how do you even have a console war pitting the N64 against the PlayStation? That sounds stupid. Like, that sounds really dumb. Like, how do you even make an argument that the N64 is better in any way than the PlayStation? Other than, I guess, if you're a big Mario and Zelda fan, which I'm not, so maybe that's why I don't get it. Like, if Mario and Zelda were my childhood, I guess maybe I could see the PlayStation doesn't, but then it's like you could play Alundra. There's a million games you can play on the PlayStation that are better Zeldas than Zelda. That's the thing I don't understand. Like, there are people who make Zelda better than Nintendo. Why are we playing their version of it? Let's see, Ryan says GameCube was high school for you. Yeah, that was army times for me. GameCube came out after I got back from war, basically. So high school, I guess technically high school for me was like PlayStation. But then I was in transition, so like the next set of consoles came out too. Or I eventually got to college before that console generation was over, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Don't you mean the TurboGrafx kids? Sega doesn't exist. I mean Mega Drive. My bad. Terry says GameCube was religion for me. Yeah, I didn't like the GameCube much. I did like Time Splitters too. That was one of the games I dug. And the Metal Gear remake was the best Metal Gear Solid ever. So great job, Nintendo. I bought that GameCube specifically for that Metal Gear Solid improvement, and it was worth every penny. Nick says, I was an NES kid, and I mean the NES was my first system, then switched to PlayStation. NES was my technically third system because I have a brother who's basically 10 years, technically 9, but it might as well be 10 years older than me in terms of the months. He had an Atari 2600 that I do remember playing as a little pup. And then my parents weren't buying no consoles. My parents, like, I came from a family that did okay. We weren't poor, but my parents were cheap as shit and did not like buying things when I would ask for them. So I'd be like, "Hey, Dad, can I get laser tag for Christmas?" "Fuck that. Get a job." Like, all right, I'm 9, bro. They ain't hiring out here. Like, all right. Like I think I asked for a Sega Genesis before I asked for an NES, if that makes sense. Like I was so late to the party that by the time my mom got me an NES, no bullshit, the Sega Genesis had been out for a year. So like my parents were like, "Oh, that video game you wanted from back in 1985 when you was wearing diapers? Fuck that. We got it for you as your college graduation gift. Here you go." Damn, bro. All my friends in school were talking to girls, and I was just starting to play NES. So yeah, my first though was my parents did buy me a Commodore 64. That they did do, and it wasn't when it launched. It was years later, but I still did get one, and that's because we lived in Germany. It was popular in in the European area, and I think because I lived on a military base, they got it like stupidly cheap on a sale. So I did have a Commodore 64. That was technically my first console, and then the NES. The NES came by the time I think I was in middle school by the time my parents got me a damn NES. It's like I was a baby when this came out, yo. What are we doing? There's a Sega Genesis that's been out for 20 years. Why can't I have that one? It's the same price. But on the flip, I'm actually glad because the NES gave me Metroid, which gave me Metroid and then gave me Metal Gear. And those are the games that made me a gamer forever. Lisa says high school for me was bullies and insecurities. Good times. Yeah, I can dig it. Terry would be the guy spoiling the plot of the book and then laughing in the hallway psychopathically. Terry says GameCube has motherfucking F-Zero GX on it. That isn't just a game. That is serious business. That is God. That is our salvation. The meaning of life. So Terry, I've never asked you this, and if I did, I forgot. Are racing games your favorite thing? Because for you to have that much love for a game that's impossible to play, and all I've heard about it is how impossible it is, and You might as well just shoot yourself rather than play the game if you think you're going to finish it. Like, are racing games like your favorite thing, and that's why you're able to stick with it? It's the forklift champion. Jerry says, no, they're not. F-Zero GX is just that good. My favorite thing is beat 'em ups. Okay, so you're kind of in the same boat as me. JRPGs are not my favorites, but there are JRPGs that are some of my favorite games, but it's definitely not I am pretty much done with that genre. I give up. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm going to do what Apollo Creed failed to do in Rocky 4, which is say, you know what? I've taken enough of this ass whooping from these shitty games that are made for people who love listening to fucking terrible fairy tales. I, I'm throwing the towel in, so I ain't got to take this ass whooping no more. I'm just going to stick to the games that I am wired to enjoy and be good at. Like, you won't catch me forklift racing in Shenmue. Well, the joy of the forklift race in Shenmue is more about, think of when you learn the boss pattern in an NES game. That's not terribly hard to learn, like it's intuitive, and then you learn it, and then you enjoy exploiting it. That's what the forklift races are. It's not about racing. It's about knowing the moves to make in every scenario when you have to make a move, and being challenged to do it properly. That's what makes it fun. I guess that is the same as racing, but it's so absurd that you're racing in forklift. I enjoy the forklift racing with its terrible controls to this day because it's like an actual fun puzzle. Where it's like I got to figure out what is the fastest route, and it will let me take shortcuts if I can find them. And then the game becomes about finding the shortcuts and just getting angles. It's almost like playing football. Let me take the right. If this guy's faster than me, I have to take a different angle, in terms of geometry to cut them off with my speed going where it goes with their speed going this way. So there's some of that kind of football nature to it that I enjoyed. So hell, I like that better than when I play real racing games that I suck at. Because I only like the combat racers, the ones where you actually have to be good at racing. I'm terrible at. See, Stephen O says high school for me was the bullying the first year, but playing video games, Warhammer 40K, and being a social troglodyte. I keep saying that word wrong. Let's see. Terry says F-Zero GX is the ultimate adrenaline rush. Now, from what I've seen in video, that adds up. That makes a lot of sense to me. That the player, like, I get that feeling just from watching people play it, so I could definitely see that. Musashi says I wound up getting my NES shortly before the SNES came out. Yeah, same here. Same. Same here, man. Ti says my favorite racing game is probably Riptide Renegade. I don't think I've ever heard of that. It sounds cool though. It sounds like a cool one, man. I gotta look that up. Cool. Well, I could sit here and just talk to you guys endlessly for the next couple hours, or I could go finish what I got to do for the day, get some food in my belly, decide if I'm taking a shower before or after the show because I'm gonna sweat my ass off, and I might. I'm still pretty clean from the shower I took this morning. It might take, or I'm sorry, the shower I took last night. I'm still pretty clean from. Um, so I have to decide if I'm showering before or after tonight's show. After almost works always better because I sweat my ass off sitting in this hot ass room with all the things running that make the show go. But we'll be back tonight. We should be on time, or I may even be a little bit early, depending on how dinner and getting kids ready for bed. And I just got a phone call from the schools, and I don't know if that means school is canceled tomorrow because all this snow we keep getting. So we'll figure that out. I should be back here no later than 9 p.m. And if it is later, it shouldn't be any later than 10. Because usually when I'm late, it's because, oh, I went to do something with my kids, and then it turned into, hey, dad, hey, dad, hey, dad. And it's like, all right, y'all are going to hey, dad me for the next hour, which is fine. That's what I live for. That's not a complaint. I live to be of service to this tribe here. It gives me purpose. It gives me pleasure. But so we'll come back. We'll do the stream. I was actually going to do some gaming with you while we were doing the book chat, but the book chat didn't take very long before. Like once I saw, because most of you here are already in the book challenge, so I wasn't worried about you guys. I just kind of wanted to hang out to be here to talk with y'all. But as soon as the numbers on TikTok went from "Hey, you're doing really good" to people started rolling out, I was like, okay, I've said all the things that need to be said. Let's shut this show down. I thought it would go longer, and then I was going to play some games, but it didn't need to. So we'll shut down here. Um, be back by 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight is Shan Yuan, Sword 7. This is the partido we'll be playing. I need to be able to see what you guys are seeing on screen, and right now I can't. Okay, yeah, you can't read that. That's ridiculous. All right, so this is what we're pretty far into this game. I think after looking at the guide, we're about 3/5 of the way through Shan Yuan. And I'm enjoying it, man. It's a very, very simple game. I think reviewers, if I was still reviewing it, reviewers would call this kind of bare bones, even though it does have some features in it that are kind of cool, like the crafting system where you actually craft and upgrade the crafting system itself. I thought that was pretty interesting. Like, oh, that's dope. Now I don't have to spend the whole game picking up worthless materials. I can actually use the materials in the game, which are not very plentiful but very useful, to build up my arsenal, and then, okay, I'm liking this. So it's a very simple game. It has a very absurdist story, but I like absurdist type stuff, and I'm having a good time with it. So we'll be back with that, and we'll go from there. Either way, I love you guys. We are stronger than I, and I'll see you guys back here in about 3 hours. Peace.